Thanks, Riaz. Good morning. It's just coming up on 6:30, and we begin in BC's Cariboo region, where this morning there were answers being demanded following an environmental disaster. Those who live there are being told not to drink the water. A water ban has been expanded to include everyone living along the Quesnel and Cariboo rivers. The advisory comes after a breach in the tailings pond at the Mount Poly mine near the town of Likely. The accident spilled millions of cubic meters of wastewater into nearby roads and waterways. Several agencies are trying to figure out the extent of the damage. Those who live in the region are being warned that even boiling the water will not eliminate the possibility of contamination. A Vancouver couple is being investigated in China for suspected theft of that country's state secrets. Kevin and Julia Garrett run a coffee shop in southern China. The investigation into the couple comes the week after Canada accused a Chinese-sponsored hacker of infiltrating the National Research Council. China denies. The couple has lived in China for the past 30 years. BC Day-long weekend has ended with the death of a man in the Alouette River. He went swimming near the Pitt Meadows Golf and Country Club off Harris Road yesterday afternoon. Ridge Meadows fire and rescue workers were called in when the father, in his 40s, disappeared. Members of the Coast Guard attended with a hovercraft and divers scoured the water. The man's body was found last night. The case has now been turned over to the coroner's service. Vancouver police are appealing for your help after an early morning hit and run yesterday that left a 26-year-old woman in hospital in critical condition. A car heading east slammed into her around 4 a.m. on Pacific Boulevard near Abbott Street. The car is believed to be a black, newer model Honda Civic, likely with front-end damage. The victim has been identified by friends as Ovi Young, a local communications specialist. She is in hospital with a head injury. It was a day of free transit that was supposed to make amends and build goodwill. But depending on who you ask, TransLink may not have accomplished what it set out to do. Thousands took advantage of free rides across the system. The C-bus was especially busy. Riders were left standing, waiting, and facing delays until a third vessel could be added. Buses were also packed to and from holiday hotspots like White Rock, Stanley Park, and Granville Island. TransLink offered free services in response to 2 lengthy SkyTrain shutdowns last month.
If you're a monthly pass person, it doesn't really affect you it doesn't really help you that much, like having a free day, especially on a holiday as well.
Because it happened during rush hour and people were trying to get home, they already had, I'm assuming they were all working, so they already had monthly passes, so it doesn't really help them.
A review is underway into SkyTrain's recent problems. It's being headed by Gary McNeil, who helped launch the service before serving as CEO of Toronto's GO Train system. The death toll has risen to more than 400 in southwest China following a powerful magnitude 6.1 earthquake that rocked the region on Sunday. About 2,300 people are hurt. More than 10,000 soldiers are clearing roads and digging people out of homes that have collapsed. Villages near rising lakes formed by landslides are also being evacuated. A 72-hour truce has been called in Gaza after 4 weeks of fighting between Israeli forces and Hamas militants. Israeli ground troops have withdrawn from Gaza's border areas, and shops in Gaza City started opening their doors. It remains to be seen if this ceasefire holds, unlike others that have collapsed over the past few weeks.